hari ni, so for today just mark whatever that we managed to discuss. Okay. Aim tutup mic.
Okay, sir.
Okay, and then tomorrow we will discuss about your midterm test. Okay, so midterm test, my question has already marked. So we are waiting for Sir Azri to mark his question. Overall, okay lah. Even though some of you, I think copy somewhere kot. can detect lah, but overall marks dia tak adalah perform sangat.
Sir, kalau kertas jawapan dah tak ada, macam mana sir?
Aduh. Tapi tak payah print lah, okay? Tanda pakai pen ke. Nak print pun boleh kalau rajin, kalau ada printer. Okay, so we will discuss about your question, your mock test question first, okay? So you can see this question number 1. So I already gave you the answer for question number one, but we will discuss this once again, okay? So automatic washing machine commonly used in household is an example of open loop control system. Question 1, discuss why automatic washing machine is an open loop control system. So washing machine is a classical example of open loop control system because whenever you set time for washing, so the process will continue or goes on until the time has out, okay, time out, okay. Even though if you stop or you disturb the machine halfway, maybe your anak saudara or your cousin ke stop the machine, then you continue the process. The process will continue at the with the time remaining, so it doesn't see or doesn't evaluate how clean is your clothes in the machine. Okay, so you can answer this by saying the machine will run according to a preset time. So first, question 1, the machine will run with a set time. Set time, temperature, or speed, okay? So if you have the word set time or temperature or speed, then you get 1 marks, okay? And then the second point is that you have to say something about you disturb the machine. When you disturb the machine, then the machine, the process will stop. But when you continue the process again, the cleanliness will not be the same. So the second point is that when you disturb, let's say example, stops the machine. And then continue the process. The cleanliness will not be the same. Okay, so if you have this kind of description, you say you disturb, and then cleanliness will not be the same. So you get 1 mark here, and another mark here. And another mark you can get is that you say that the machine has no sensor or no feedback. Okay. So if you have the word no feedback or no sensor, another mark. Okay. So 1 mark. So the question only gives you 3 marks. So if you get 4 points here, you still get 3 marks. Okay. Buruknya tulisan. Okay, so this is the answer for question 1. For question number 2, in your opinion, how would you convert an automatic washing machine to become a closed loop control system? Then design a block diagram of the new closed loop system, automatic washing machine. So the question 1, the question to ask you your opinion, how to convert the open loop control system of washing machine into a closed loop. So you have to answer add sensor. Okay. So if you have the word add sensor, 1 mark for you. So this is the trick where I think most of you forgot to say your opinion. Okay, because the question asks for opinion, but most of you straight away draw the block diagram. Okay, so just put opinion, add sensor, or add some of you said thermo sensor, whatever lah. Yang penting ada sensor. Okay, and then draw the this is basically your idea only. So the first thing you must have is input. Okay, so input maybe input time or speed or alamak. So you must have input, and then the input must go to a summing junction. Okay, so you can put plus minus, doesn't matter. Okay, and then it must go to a controller. So the controller will control your time, speed, and temperature. And then you must have timer so that the washing machine will keep running for a certain time. Okay, and then the process. So a control system element must have input, process, and also controller. So 3 things already. And then you must have the output. So output may be actual cleanliness that you want. Okay. Okay, so since this is a closed loop system, so you must have a sensor. So just put sensor on the bottom, and then this is the feedback. Okay. So you must have the element for control system. So the first element is this input must have input and output. Okay. So 1 mark for input and output. And then 1 mark for input, output, and washing process. The process controller input output. Okay, so 1 mark for that. And then 1 mark for sensor, 1 mark for feedback signal arrow. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 mark for summing junction. And then you must have a disturbance for washing machine, okay? Because in your description you talk about the disturbance that causing the system to not working as a closed loop. So disturbance, another 1 mark. So here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 marks. So let's say if you forgot to put timer, for example, it's okay, okay? As long as you have input, output, controller, and the process. So if you put only the word process, it's also okay. If you put, let's say input, you put time, set time, also okay. As long as you have the components. Okay, any question so far?
Nope.
Good job. Okay. So now we will discuss about the block diagram reduction. Okay. So for block diagram reduction, I think most of you forgot to mention about what arrangement that you are trying to simplify. For example, like G3 and H3, it's actually feedback, right? So most of you straight away simplify this without telling the examiner or me or writing the word this is feedback. Maybe you can put a circle over here and say this is feedback, and then simplify into what? Most of you straight away simplify. So you lost 1 mark for telling this is feedback. Okay, so you have to remember the 6 rules. Okay, the 6 rules of thumbs for simplifying block diagram, because sometimes in final block diagram maybe you are given something like this. Then you need to simplify. After simplify, you need to maybe do Raut-Hurwitz criteria or draw some graph, for example. So if you get this wrong, then semua salah sampai habis, okay? So this is 16 marks. Maybe in final, maybe about 10 marks or 12 marks, okay? Okay, so first step is to, okay, so first the general rules for uh, for simplifying block diagram. Sabar padam dulu. Okay, so the general rules for simplifying the block diagram, I think there are 6. Okay, so the first rule is look for cascade. And second one is look for parallel. Okay, cascade or series. And then parallel, and then the third one, if you don't have cascade and parallel, then you need to look for how you can move the pickup point to the right. Okay. And then if you, oh sorry, ada, alah tertinggal satu step. Actually feedback dulu, okay? So feedback first. So if you don't have all these 3, cascade, parallel, and feedback, then you only then you move the pickup point. Move pickup point. Pick off point to the right. And then number 5, you move the summing junction to the left. If you cannot move the pick-off point, then move summing junction to the left. And then lastly, you repeat the process, okay, until you simplify the block diagram.
Betul.
Yep,
Kalau Sim Johnson tu kita pergi ke kanan boleh?
boleh, tapi takut jawapan akhir dia tak sama. Sebenarnya kalau move ke mana pun, kalau simplify kan sepatutnya dia akan dapat sama dengan jawapan lah, jawapan skema jawapan. Tapi sometimes tak sama, tak tahu kenapa. maybe salah step, salah kira masa nak simplify kan transfer function tu. So general rules dia follow yang ni lah, okay?
Okay.
Sebab itulah sebab dia sebab bila korang Google ke later buka YouTube ke, memang rules dia yang ni. Cumanya dalam nota maybe dia tak point out. Okay, dalam nota tak point out the rules. Sebab dia rasa simple je benda ni, boleh buat sendiri, boleh fikir. Tapi these are the rules lah.
Okay.
Okay, so the first step in simplifying this question is obviously you move this pick-off point to the right, okay? So this pick-off point to the right. You can move this to the left, but I don't know, I try, but I cannot get the same answer. Or tak try pun, malas. Tapi if you later when you calculate your answer later, and then when you check with my answer, and then you find out that your answer is the same, then maka dia full mark jugalah, okay? Okay, so first step, even though this is feedback, you can simplify, but we focus on this first lah, okay? So this is pick off point to the right. So you have to mention lah, okay? Maybe you put like this, ada panah ke? Maybe you put remarks. Number 1, move pick off to the right. So if you have these remarks in your answer, you get 1 point. And then when you remark, then you simplify this, okay? You simplify the pick off point, okay? And then the next step you can see is this one just now. This is feedback. So you can also remark this as number 2, maybe feedback. So you have 2 things you can simplify first. So maybe you can draw the simplified block diagram first. So feedback, another 1 mark, okay? Then you get so here you get G4 over G2 because you have moved this pick off point, then it becomes G4 over G2. then this one, the feedback, it will follow this formula, okay? G over 1 plus GH. 1 plus minus. So if this is minus, then you plus. If this is plus, then you minus, okay? So this one becomes G3 over 1 plus G3 H3. All right. So if you manage to get this, then you get 2 marks, okay? If you manage to simplify the pick-off point, first you say pick-off point, 1 mark. If you know G4 over G2, then 2 marks. Sometimes you do G4 times G2, hilanglah 1 markah. Okay, and then for the feedback, if you manage to get this simplification, then another mark, okay? 1 markah lagi. Okay, then after you simplify pick-off point and feedback, then from the new block diagram, you can see that these two are cascade. So label cascade. Okay, 1 mark here. And then these two things here are parallel. Okay, for parallel, 1 more marks. Okay, so cascade and parallel, and then so you need to simplify that these two things first before you can go further. So maybe some of you move this summing junction to the left. So also okay. So this is cascade, then it will become nanti dalam exam lukisan cantik lukisan saya buruk. Jangan tiru ya. Jangan tiru cara saya punya melukis. Then this one G1, G2. Cascade you just multiply, and then for the parallel you just add. So G4 over G2 plus 1. Okay, so you will get 1 mark if you know cascade is multiply and parallel just adding, okay? Okay, so from here, Then you can further simplify this thing as a feedback. So this is feedback. Step number 5. So 1 mark here. And then feedback, and then okay, so simplify this first. Macam salah je. Salah lah, bukan sini. Okay, sorry. Kat sini. Okay, so this is feedback. Okay, so simplify the feedback. You use the same formula. G divided by 1 plus HG plus minus. So if this is minus, then you plus, okay? Then you can redraw the block diagram again. Okay, then from this new block diagram, then you can say this one as cascade. So step number 6, cascade 1 mark. So feedback just now, this is also another mark, okay? If you manage to simplify the feedback. Okay, then this is cascade 1 mark, and then this line here, feedback. Another 1 mark, okay? And then you simplify everything. You can redraw the block diagram, or you can just straight away write the transfer function for ys over xs. So you can straight away write ys over xs using feedback formula. So the top one is cascade. So you just write k times g1 g2 over 1 plus g1 g2 h2 times g4 over g2 plus 1 times g3 over 1 plus g3 h3 divided by 1 plus, okay, the same thing again. Okay, so if you get the cascade on the top correct, then 1 more mark. If you get the feedback formula correct, then you get another mark. Okay, and then you can simplify this further. So to simplify this, actually you get 1 more mark for the final answer. So the trick to simplify this is that you need to look at the bottom one, the denominator first. So first you need to simplify this one because this is in terms of fraction and a whole number. So if you simplify this, you get G4 plus G2 over G2. And then you just multiply everything. So this is G3 over here. And this one G1, G2. K. And then this one times 1 plus G1, G2, H2. And this one 1 plus G3, H3. Okay. And then this term here are the same for the top one, right? Same. So the only thing you need to focus now is on the denominator. So you have plus 1 here. So to plus 1, you need to basically make this as a fraction. Fraction similar with this one. So this one will become 1 plus G1, G2, H2 times G2 times 1 plus G3, H3 divided by the same 1 plus G1, G2, H2 times G2 times 1 plus G3, H3. So what you can do is just put plus here and repeat this on top. So 1 plus, I might confirm. So 1 plus G1, G2, H2, G2, 1 plus G3, H3, plus K, G1, G2, G4 plus G2 times G3 divided by 1 plus G1, G2, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so this is the bottom one. And for the top one, it's the same as this part, okay? So when this becomes the denominator, you can simplify further by dividing this denominator and also this denominator here. Tak apa, confusing, tapi you will get used to it. So you can just rewrite this in terms of the final answer by doing it like this. Okay, K times G1, G2, G4 plus G2 times G3 divided by 1 plus G1, G2, H2, G2, 1 plus G3, H3 plus K, G1, G2, G4 plus G2, G3. So if you understand the pattern, you don't need to calculate macam pecah kepala, okay? You can just macam darat silang je. Tak apa, korang tak faham sekarang tak apa, nanti balik belajar lah, okay? So because a lot of time in final exam later, you are given unity feedback like this. This is unity feedback. Okay, so this is unity feedback. So whenever you have unity feedback, you can simplify them by cross multiplication, darat silang. Saya panggil dia darat silang. But you will understand the pattern when you maybe retry this mock test or do some other exercise. So you don't need to like waste one page of your question paper later, answer paper later to just simplify. So if you understand the pattern, boleh simplify dengan cepat je. Okay, so if you get this final answer here, you get 1 mark. So kalau tak dapat jawab ni, hilang 1 markah, tak rugi pun. But mostly in final exam, you need this final answer because there will be a subsequent question that requires you to use this as your transfer function and maybe substitute some values in this for the G's and for the H. Okay. Okay, boleh follow? So kita rehat 5 minit. Okay.
Kalau salah awal, salah sampai habis lah.
Kalau jawapan ada contohnya lah, let's say korang ada buat, contohnya awal-awal ni korang kata G1, G2 ni cascade, adalah markah cascade. Okay, let's say 2 markah lah, dapatlah 2 markah. Tapi markah pick off point ni tak ada lah. Lepas tu contohnya macam ni, feedback ni, korang kata semua ni feedback dengan garisan ni. Dapatlah 1 markah feedback. Simplify dia tak dapat lah sebab salah. Rasa macam masuk universe lain. Yelah tadi kan meniaga juta-juta. Tiba-tiba tengah belajar saya terkejut. Usually kalau saya menanda, saya akan bagilah markah kesian. Contoh korang kata parallel, ni parallel ke, dapatlah 1 markah. Let's say korang kata ni feedback, dapatlah 2 markah walaupun jawapan dia tak sama. Okay. Tapi maybe lecturer lain dia macam salah ni kosong je lah sampai habis. Macam pernah ada je kes macam tu. Dia malas nak tanda tengok salah, okay dah kosong. Saya pernah kot tanda macam tu bila time marah.
Serius.
Ah,
Habis tu kan, kalau kita tak mention kat setiap tempat tu macam yang ni cascade ke, feedback ke apa tu, tak ada markah lah cerita dia.
sebab dia 16 markah kot. So 16 markah macam takkanlah simple sangat macam tu. Tapi pernah je ada final exam yang markah dia sikit je, 6 markah. So kalau dia bagi sikit je markah, tak payah mention lah macam ni feedback ke ni cascade, terus ringkaskan je. Tapi kalau markah dia banyak, sometimes dia nak awak terangkan macam tu. Pernah keluar dulu final tahun bila tah, dia suruh ringkaskan block diagram tu by explaining the process. So korang kena beritahu ni cascade, ni feedback. Tapi rasanya budak taskor sebab dia tak mention benda-benda tu lah, feedback cascade semua tu. So sebagai nak mudahkan korang ataupun nak bagi korang tak payah macam pening-pening banyak method kan. So better tulislah parallel. Bukan tulis banyak pun. Parallel feedback macam tu je, buat garis-garis bulat macam tu je pun. Tapi memang step dia memang kena tunjuk lah. Macam dia ringkas ni jadi blok lain, ringkas ni jadi blok lain. Yang tu memang kena tunjuk. Tak boleh lah terus ringkas jawapan akhir. Maksudnya korang akan lost marks in between the process. Tak nak tanda boleh tak? Boleh. So macam lagi sikit je markah bila tanda sendiri ni. Tak tahu kat mana nak. Kesian. Tak apa korang tanda je sebab saya malas nak tanda. Korang tanda.
Mock test ni berapa persen je?
Mock test ni tak ada markah kot. Maybe masuk dalam quiz korang kot. Tengoklah macam mana-mana yang muat. Okay. Korang tanda je, nanti saya tengok saya tambahlah sikit-sikit. Okay.
Saya tak tahu nak tanda macam mana. Saya soalan ni.
Macam tu lah. Macam tu lah kerja lecturer.
Alah habis.
Korang dapat feeling kan macam mana kerja lecturer?
Dari awal tak ada markah tu macam mana.
Macam lecturer pun macam tu, nak tanda ke tak nak ni? Nak bagi kosong ke tak?
Aduh.
Mantap Mija.
Dari awal tak ada markah macam mana ni?
Tak apa, tanda je. Okay? Kita maybe letak sebagai markah kesian ke. Kalau kata korang fail ke, nanti dapatlah lulus macam tu. Dapat A minus, satu lagi markah nak A, dapat A macam tu lah. So tanda je, hantar je. Nanti saya akan tengok. Okay?
Kalau bagi full mark boleh tak sir?
Full mark dia kosong. Full juga tu.
Untuk test pun sama agak sir.
Apa test?
Untuk
Test dia betul.
yang betul pun sama agak. Kami tanda sendiri lah.
Tapi tu dah tanda dah, tapi korang tanda jugalah. Nanti in case dapat markah yang betul, korang tak puas hati ke. Macam tu lah.
Oh.
Sebab nak discuss tak boleh. Kalau kita jumpa face to face, bolehlah bagi korang balik kertas tu, korang check sendiri. Tapi kita tak boleh kan. So saya suruh awak tanda sendiri. Lepas tu bagi balik, nanti dapat markah awak. Contohnya tiba-tiba awak tanda dapat 20. Tiba markah sebenar kosong. Contoh kan. Bolehlah tanya balik kenapa kosong.
Tapi sir boleh je.
Boleh maksudnya? Senyap lah tunggu.
Ignore
Boleh kan?
gantian lah.
Buat they can.
Budak dekan tanya pelik-pelik. Okey, kita rehat 5 minit jap ya. Dan kita continue dengan yang Route Hurwitz minggu lepas punya quiz.
Zaim macam mana Zaim? Full mark ke?
Kesian dia. Janganlah. Dia nak belajar kot.
Zaim power ke? Dalam dia perform.
Paruh tak lepas ni Mirza.
Gigi. Aduh.
Bingung lah. Okay, so kita sambung. Alright, so we continue with quiz number 9 about Hurwitz criteria lecture 3F. Okay, so question 1. Okay, boleh sambung? So, ke semua pergi toilet? Okay, so question number 1. Using Hurwitz table, determine the stability of the following transfer function. Okay, so ada steps given already. Okay, so we can start by looking at the denominator. So for Hurwitz, always look at the denominator of your transfer function. Okay, for this question, you don't need to simplify any block diagram because you already given a closed loop transfer function, okay? So the transfer function has denominator, maybe you list down first, okay? So denominator, S5 plus, sorry. Minus S4 plus 4S cube plus 4S square plus 3S minus 2. Okay, so the first step is to create a table starting with S5 and S4. Okay, so S5 and S4, you fill the two top rows using the coefficient of the denominator alternatingly. So you have 1, minus 1, 4, 4, 3, minus 2. Okay. So if you want to add extra column, also okay. Just in case, okay. 0, 0. And then you start with S3 by calculating the determinant. So S3 equals determinant of these values divided by minus 1. You get 4 plus 4, 8. Negative 8 minus divided by minus 1. So you get 8. And then the second column, 1 minus 1, 3 minus 2, minus 1 and minus 2 plus 3, 1, you get 1 here. And then the last one you get 0. And then move on to S2. So you get minus 13, 13 over 18, over 8, sorry. And then this one you get confusing. And here you get 16 minus 2. Entah. And here you get 0. And then for the next row, S1, berapa entah. 16 tolak 13/8. Entah.
Sir, 13 ke 31 ke?
Lah. Negative 1,
13
negative 3 kan?
Yeah.
Tak ada calculator, okay? Tapi kalau dapat tu betul lah tu. Ni kira lah sendiri berapa, okay?
3-3 lah.
3.
Bukan 31 sir. Tambah kan?
8 darab 4, 32. Ni negatif.
Sir, 4 tu
Tolak.
kan negatif tu sir.
4 tu positif.
Ya.
Kan dah tukar hari tu. 8 darab 4 negatif 32. Negatif 1. Negatif 33 lah. Apa-apalah letak situ.
Saya tak tukar rasa.
Okay. Itu yang
Aduh.
Zaim dapat kosong minggu lepas. Okay. Kalau ingat. So ni dapat kosong. Ni 8. Kosong. Akan dapat kosong kat sini. S0. So S0 ni akan dapat negatif 2. Okay. Tunjuklah jalan kira, nanti pening pula. Katakan ni star. Negatif 2. Okay, so kalau lepas tu check for stability. So for stability, check sign changes in column 1. So you get one sign changes here. Ni satu. And another sign changes here. Ni dapat apa tah? Ni negatif 16 tolak 3/38. So ni dapat positif. Dan positif ke sini, another sign changes. So there are 3 sign changes. 3 sign changes. So meaning that 3 poles on right half plane. System is unstable. Okay, so 2 markah. So 2 markah kalau dapat buat unstable, 1 markah. Ada table ni 1 markah. Tak kisahlah star ni dapat apa-apa pun atau masalah kira, tapi dia unstable. Ni markah kesian lah sebab dia 2 markah je. Kan 2 markah kan.
Sir, nak tanya, kalau tak buat macam bahagi tu terus isi nombor last answer boleh kan? Dekat table.
Oh, tak buat determinant semua tu.
Ya.
Boleh, rasanya boleh. Tapi sekejap. Boleh kah? Tak boleh kot. Macam mana ada orang jawab dulu? Rasanya semua orang pun tunjuk jalan kira. Rasanya macam tak benar lagi orang tak tunjuk jalan kira. Walaupun guna kalkulator tapi itulah kan. Better buatlah tunjuk je benda ni. Walaupun buat better tunjuk lah, okay. Just in case takut macam dia rasa panel rasa macam apa ni tiba-tiba dapat jawapan, dia tak puas hati ke. Kalau yang confirm dapat kosong tu nak kena tunjuk ke? Yang confirm dapat kosong selalunya saya tak tunjuk. Contohnya macam ni. Ni saya tak tunjuk. Macam ni pun saya tak tunjuk. Kalau sepatutnya lah, tapi saya tunjuk je. Macam ni sama dengan kosong.
Okay, sir. Tapi dah terbuat sir.
Tak apa. Bagi je markah. Bagi je 1. Tapi dalam final try tunjuk lah, okay? Just in case, okay?
Alright sir.
Okay, so ni soalan nombor 1. Dan soalan nombor 2. Soalan nombor 2 ni susah sikit sebab dia ada K. So determine the range K to make the system stable. So dia bagi clue, simplify the block diagram and then use Raut-Hurwitz criteria. So most of the time question dekat final adalah dalam bentuk block diagram most of the time. Sometimes je yang dia bagi transfer function terus. Tapi most of the time dia bagi block diagram. Okay, so for this one it's feedback, okay? Apa C tak ada feedback. So simplify feedback. So you get YS over RS. So saya dah ajar pattern tadi. Kalau korang nampak lah, okay, korang akan tahu dia punya ringkasan dia. Okay, one. Apa tah, lupa dah. Okay, so kalau korang dapat ni 1 markah. Then ringkaskan lagi sebab nak denominator. So denominator dia, let's say denominator is S times S square plus 4S plus 20. So kembangkan. Oh, Masya Allah panjangnya.
Betul, final 3 jam kan?
3 jam. Itulah, tapi tak tahu dekat mana lagi. Dekat online ke ataupun di UMP.
Oh.
So S4 S3. Tak tahu betul tak. Okay, dan dapat denominator ni barulah buat Raut-Hurwitz table. So you start with S4, then followed by S3. And then fill the 2 top rows alternatingly. 1, 5, 24, 20, K, 0. And then row S2. So you get determinant of 1, 5. $20 tolak 120. And then the next one, you get K. This is 0. S1. $5K.
Yang S2 tu tak bagi 5 sah.
Yang mana?
S2 100 tu kena bagi 5.
Oh, pandai-pandai.
Sir,
Dean list. Ya.
Hakim boleh pergi hantar kalkulator je kat bilik saya.
Kenapa dia ada sini ke? Tak, saya bukan kat bilik pun. Saya dekat DPM. Bilik saya tak ada aircon. Sedih betul. Ah, 5K 400 tolak 5K per 100. Bukan 100 per 20. Nanti korang check lah betul tak. Saya dah wang dah. Negatif 5, 20 kosong. So kosong lah kat sini. And then for row S0, you get K. Okay, so then you check for column 1. Okay, check column 1. So first range is here. So S1 400 minus 5K over 20 must be bigger than 0. Must be positive, okay? Jawapan tak payah letak negatif. Memang dalam formula gitu, chat. Entah mana ada negatif. Entah, korang check lah sendiri. Okay, so and then you get K equals bawa sebelah 5. K kecil dari 80. So ni nombor 1. And then for the second one, you check for row S0. So row S0 K bigger than 0. Okay, so you get 2 range of K. Then you need to combine this range together. So K is in between 0 and 80. So therefore, K between 0 and 80 for stable system. Okay, so you get 1 marks for table and 1 marks for the range of K. Okay. So sentiasa check for the column for all rows yang ada K. So for example, row S1 ada K, kira dia punya range dia berapa. And then row S0 pun ada K, kira juga range dia berapa. Okay, so K between 0 and 80. Betul kan ke korang dapat lain?
Betul. Good.
Okay. Bagus. Alright, so this is for question 1 and 2.
Sir,
Yep.
yang apa nama yang row S1 tu dia ada negatif lepas tu buat kotak kan sir. Kenapa dekat jawapan bawah sekali tu tak ada negatif lah? Negatif tu untuk apa lah?
Jawapan bawah tak ada negatif. So 5K negatif 5K. 20 darab 20 400. Negatif 400 darab negatif jadi positif. Dia macam ni.
Okay.
Itulah dia.
Oh macam tu Okay, faham.
Tapi saya dah darab masuk.
Okay, faham. Okay, alright.
Okay.
Kalau ada key memang penulisan jawapan dia kan jadi macam tu. Kita tak payah cakap change sign je.
Tak, sebab soalan dia nak suruh cari range of K. Soalan dia suruh cari range of K to make stable system. So bila nak cari range of K, kita tahu bahawa first column mesti tak ada sign changes ataupun semua positif untuk stable system. So kita check lah. Macam ni positif. Ni tak ada sign changes. Ni pun tak ada sign changes. So yang ni mesti tak ada sign changes juga. So kita boleh cari K tu berapa, range dia berapa. So maknanya yang ni mesti positif. And then sama juga dengan yang bawah ni. Yang ni mesti positif. Kalau ni negatif maknanya dia tak stable lah K tu. Kalau value K negatif maksudnya sistem tak stable.
Bagi saya menghadamkan je rasa macam mana. Penulis
Okay.
saja.
Yang soalan first tadi, dia tak bagi range of K. Dia tak nak range of K. Dia suruh tentukan sistem tu stable ke tak. Maksudnya K tu dah ada lah, dah ada values. Macam dalam soalan kedua ni, K tu tak ada value. Dia macam satu constant. Satu nombor yang kita tak tahu berapa value dia. So kita nak tahu K ni in between berapa ataupun berapa value yang sesuai supaya sistem tu stabil. Benda ni guna dia nanti dalam last chapter yang terakhir sekali pasal PID controller. So PID controller ni dia macam lebih kurang korang nak tune values supaya sistem korang tu dapat steady state values. Nanti maybe project ada kot. Korang kena tune values. Benda-benda tu lah kegunaan nak cari range of K ni nanti. Macam korang kena tune K punya values tu supaya sistem tu stable. Macam tu lah lebih kurang.
Kiranya kalau dekat range tu ada value negatif, so dia dah tak stable lah kan?
Kalau K tu negatif kat sini, dia tak stable lah. Contohnya macam ni. For example K ni, kalau K ni kita letak value yang less than 0 for example, then yang ni akan negatif. So dia tak stabil lah sistem tu. So sistem tu tak boleh K negatif. So sistem tu mesti K dia besar daripada 0. Tapi dekat row S1 ni, for row S1, kita tahu bahawa K mesti kecil dari 80. Kalau K besar dari 80, dia pun tak stabil juga. Walaupun dia tak negatif, tapi sebab dia akan menyebabkan yang row S1 ni negatif. Kalau K besar dari 80. Faham kot?
Okay. Faham.
Tak faham buat faham lah.
Faham.
Okay. Alright, kita discuss satu lagi soalan quiz 9C. Banyak rupanya quiz ni. Saya tak sempat nak discuss. Baru sedar banyak. So 9C. Alamak. Jam. Okay. Sekejap Okay. Alright, so for question C. So determine the range K to make the system stable. So soalan yang C ni, soalan 3 ni dia macam menghampiri untuk final exam punya lah, tapi final exam tak semudah ni lah. Okay, ni senang sikit. Okay, so first thing you need to simplify the block diagram. So this one, controller and rubber actuator and load, these two are in series or cascade, and then feedback. So you get 2 marks by saying cascade. And then feedback, okay? Feedback, this one feedback. So 2 markah. And then you simplify the block diagram. So you get CS over RS.
Bagi tahu benda tu pun dapat markah lah.
Ya, betul.
Wow.
Wow, seronok kan?
Saya tak tahu. Kau tahu
My
saya
God,
buat.
my God.
Sebab dia kan banyak markah yang macam soalan mock test hari tu. Tapi kan beritahu je dapat markah memang pun. Okay, so kita ringkaskan. So dekat sini dapat K S plus 1, S plus 10. Oh, banyaknya. Okay, and then you get okay, and then you simplify the denominator. Dah buat dah, nak tengok jawapan je lah, tak larat nak fikir. So kat sini dapat S cube plus 5.6 plus K S square plus 11K plus 12 S plus 45 plus 10K. Okay, so bila ada K macam ni, try to kumpulkan, okay, ataupun group them into the same S to the power of. So for example, S power of 3. So this one is for S power of 2. This one for S, and this one for S power of 0. So after you group them together, then barulah buat Routh-Hurwitz table. So you start with S cube followed by S square. So you fill in the 2 top rows alternatingly. And then S1 minus 1, 5.6 plus K, 11K plus 12, 45 plus 10K divided by 5.6 plus K. And this one 0. And then ringkaskan lagi. So dapat 11K plus 12. Okay. And then for row S0, so you take these four values and then you get 4.5 plus 10k. Okay, dah dapat table ni. So check satu persatu column number 1. So the first row you
4.5.
siapa perform?
4.5.
4.5 4.5 45 sorry 45 tak nampak. Okay, so check this row. So row S2 you get 5.6 plus K bigger than 0. So K bigger than negative 5.6. Call in progress. Sekejap ada orang call. Hello.
Hello, mana?
Dekat. Alamak. Sorry. Okay, kita sambung. Okay, so tadi kat sini. So K, the first one is K bigger than 5.6. And then we check row S1. So row S1 you get 11K plus 12 times 5.6 plus K minus, ni ada kurungan, sorry. Minus 45 plus 10K divided by 5.6 plus K bigger than 0. And then simplify kan, you get 11K squared plus 63.6K plus 22.2 bigger than 0. And then kalau ingat lagi zaman SPM yang menakutkan, korang belajar tentang ketaksamaan kuadratik. So yang ni korang akan dapat K sama dengan negative 5.408 and K sama dengan 0.3731 kalau guna calculator. Tapi range dia berapa kena tentukan based on quadratic curve. Okay. So sini negative 5.4, kat sini negative 0.37. So kita nak bigger than 0. So bigger than 0 kat sini dia punya range. Meaning that K must be less than negative 5.408 or K bigger than negative 0.3731. And then lastly, row S0. (45 plus 10K bigger than 0. So you get K bigger than negative 4.5. Okay, so sekarang ni ada 4 range of K. So there are 4 range of K. So you have to combine them together and determine the optimal range of K yang paling sesuai. So kena combinekan range ni, cari satu je range of K yang sesuai untuk stability of system. So tadi kita ada, so kita boleh buat guna garis nombor. So first one is negative 5.6. So K bigger than negative 5.6. So kita lukislah garis nombor. And then the second one is K less than negative 5.4 or K bigger than 0.37. So lukis lagi. So K less than 5.4, negative 5.4, or K bigger than negative 0.37. And then the third one is negative bigger than negative, K bigger than negative 4.5. So maybe somewhere around here. Bigger than. Okay, so nak cari range dia, korang kena tengok garis mana yang paling banyak intersected. Okay. So kalau tengok kat sini paling banyak intersect. Yang ni 2 je. Ni 1 je. Yang ni 2 je. So semua tak intersect dekat kawasan ni. Tapi dekat kawasan ni semua garisan intersected. Meaning that range of K for stable system is K bigger than negative 0.3731. Ni lah jawapan dia. So tadi 2 markah dekat cascade feedback. 1 markah kat sini. 1 markah dekat cari K yang sebanyak-banyak ni. 1 markah lagi dekat jawapan akhir. Okay. Itu je. Habis dah kelas hari ni. Ada soalan?
Agak rumit rasa nak cari range key.
Memanglah, itulah dia susah. Dia kalau Rodowitz ni dia takkan bagi yang simple lah, tak logik macam tu. Dia bagi yang macam kena cari garis nombor lah. Sebab yang ni dah matematik lah. Selalunya untuk markah yang matematik ni kita akan tengok dari segi student dapat tak jawapan akhir. Kalau student dapat jawapan akhir, jalan kira ni maybe tak potong banyak lah, maybe potong sikit je. Yang potong banyak maybe dekat Rodowitz table. Kalau Rodowitz table ni pun salah dia punya values, banyak hilang kat sini dekat Rodowitz table. Ataupun dekat simplify ni. Let's say awak kata ni parallel. Ni parallel, yang bawah ni cascade. Macam tu contohnya. Hilang markah kat situ memang banyak. Tapi jalan kira maths ni selalunya tak potong sangat banyak pun. Selalunya kita akan tengok kalau dapat tak range K ni. Kalau betul bagi markah. Lepas tu tengok ni pula, dapat tak value-values ni.
Final lebih kurang macam ni je.
Final dia punya block dia tak adalah simple macam ni. Tapi tak tahu lagi final soalan macam mana. Baru hantar. Azri baru hantar. So tak tahu soalan dia macam mana. Tapi yang penting block diagram dia yang ni bukan final lah. Ni nak bagi berapa, takkan nak bagi 2 ni. Cascade feedback 10 markah, senang sangat. Selalunya dia adalah kena move pick up point. Dia ada kat situ kena move pick up point. So soal jawapan S0 memang ambil dari S2 kolom 2. Okay. Selalunya kalau awak nampak pattern macam ni, ni ada nombor, ni ada nombor, ni ada nombor, ni kosong. Kalau nampak pattern macam ni, yang bawah ni ambil yang kolom ni je. Terus bawa turun. Itu pattern dia. Tapi kadang-kadang kalau ni ada nombor tak boleh lah pattern macam tu. Tapi kalau 3 ni ada nombor, sini kosong, value ni letak bawah ni je. Tapi kalau kira determinant memang akan dapat value ni juga, sama je. Okay, ada soalan lagi? Okay, so kita dah habis kelas untuk hari ni. And kita sambung esok untuk take home quiz kalau sempat. Ya, saya upload dekat Jamil X Gaming. Esok kalau sempat kita bincang take home quiz dengan midterm punya soalan.
So dah stream ke?
Stream lah ni. Tapi bukan
Sir.
game.
Sir,
Ya.
betul-betul. Jamil at Gaming.
Nantilah tukar tak larat. Midterm tak payahlah sir. Kenapa tak nak discuss midterm? Tak nak discuss pun tak apa.
Midterm itu menyeramkan ke?
Ya ke? Nampak macam okey je.
Oh ya.
Nampak macam okey sebab meniru je. Kan? Kantoi kan?
Mana ada ke? Serius dia.
Tak ada. Nampak pattern.
Takkan ada.
Ya, boleh. Boleh nampak. Adalah a few yang nampak macam jujur. Ada a few yang nampak tak jujur. Tapi kita tak tahu, tak boleh buktikan.
Nah, kalau jawapan memang jawapan macam tu ke, macam mana nak cakap biru ke?
Tak, dia punya pattern tu kelakar. Ada student yang soalan A tak boleh jawab contohnya. Lepas tu soalan B confirm dah tak boleh jawab. Tapi tiba soalan B betul.
Ada flow.
Itu betul.
Ada. Kau dah
Lepas tu ada pattern yang macam entah korang ni jawab pelik-pelik macam seorang pelik yang kawan dia pun pelik juga sama macam tu. So boleh nampak pattern lah, cuma kita tak boleh prove. Tapi markah tu kita tak adalah tolak pun, kita bagi markah macam biasa.
Alhamdulillah.
Tapi overall
Borak.
per 50 mostly bawah 40 lah. Mostly bawah 40. Adalah 2-3 orang je kot atas 40. Kot, iya ke? Tak ingat lah.
Bawah 40 tu tapi still lebih separuh kan?
Lebih separuh. Yang kurang dari separuh, kiranya bawah 25, ada juga yang bawah 25. Section 2-3 ni ada kan? Ada ramai gak kot. Lepas tu ada yang macam teruk jugalah untuk soalan 1, soalan 2. Soalan 2 lah, soalan 2 yang macam teruk gila.
Aduh.
Kami memang dah tanda pun. Dah tanda soalan 2. Saya dah tanda soalan 2. Soalan 2 ada yang dapat 1.
Waduh.
Bukan section kita lah. Tak tahu nak tanda apa bila tengok macam nak tanda apa ni? Bagi je lah 1.
Zaim jangan gelabah Zaim. Kau perform.
Yang X-in tu kan dah ajar sebenarnya. X-in tu kan dia macam yang absorber tu, okay? Tapi korang punya soalan tu dia terbalik. Korang dah confused dah. Nampaklah kelakar ramai yang adalah yang macam X-in tak tulis pun, tiba-tiba dalam calculation ada X-in malah datang tu saya tolak markah, nipu gila. So dalam final kita tak tahu soalan translational mechanic akan keluar lagi ke tak, sebab masih soalan masih dibuat lagi. Tapi gearing ada kot, gearing ada balik. Dengan basic control system ada lagi. Yang basic control system tu memang akan ada sampai final. Okay, tu je lah kot untuk hari ni. Esok kita discuss midterm, okay? Alright.
Alright, so thank you sir.
Alright, thank you everyone. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Salam sir.
Thank you sir.
Thank you.
Salam.
Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe to Jamil X Gaming. Bye. Stop recording.